Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, a branch of Great Millstone, back for another video. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Rakahawadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, whom we're well. Also, like to send out salutations to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, also the few Akwath that watch, all right? Not only out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, but we post numerous amounts of videos uploaded, all right, for all to see and learn, and that also goes towards waking up the remaining hopeful elect when these are, all right, sent across the four corners of the earth, all right, via the internet, which does the heavy lifting, of course. Work smart, not hard. So, what we have here is another video by Sabbath Sabs. But first, before I forget, let's read the copyright disclaimer. It's very important because I do not intend whatsoever to profit off of any of this. Just using this as an instrument of teaching. All right. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So there we go. All right. So here we're back to this, and as we've always told you, or tried to tell you, Israel runs the show here. And for those of you who might be saying that first see this and new to this, and lost your damn mind. Okay? All right. Cool. How else would you explain what's going on, especially once you get to hear this? Now, you've read it. This is Tucker Carlson, who's one of those that, hey, has been coming out with a lot of info, all right, against the apartheid state, not nation, state of Israel. More and more damaging info is coming out on these people, all right, who have deceived the world into believing that they are the chosen. That they are the chosen people of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which they are not. They are from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's brother Esau. That's their lineage. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. This is, again, as Tucker is going to, let's just get into it. This is why.
Tucker Carlson revealed something about the IDF recently on his podcast, and he also had this discussion with Professor Jeffrey Sachs, who's also been on this show as well. People are asking more questions about Israel and the ability that Israel has to make decisions in the U.S. government. And recently,
but no, Russia is the threat, right? Is that what they got everybody believing? Oh, it's Russia. It's China. These some dumb, really stupid people here in America.
apparently, it has been leaked that the IDF has been speaking to the Pentagon. Why is the IDF speaking to the Pentagon? Is it possible that the IDF is telling the Pentagon what to do? Let's get into it. Tucker Carlson exposing the IDF actions in the U.S.
During the 12-day war, such as it was with Iran, the U.S. and Israel versus Iran, bombing on all sides. During that short conflict, IDF officers in the Pentagon, foreign military officers in the Pentagon, and by the way, they're not the only foreign military officers in the Pentagon, to be clear. There are NATO officers, they're from other countries, British, but a bunch of Israeli Defense Force officers in the Pentagon that week. And during that week, ask anyone who works at the Pentagon, they enraged American Pentagon staff by just barging into meetings, giving orders, making demands, and nobody did anything about it. How can a foreign military officer barge into military headquarters, even if invited, but barge into a meeting and start demanding, we want this, we want that, you need to get on this?
How? Exactly. Now, I tried to tell people this a while back about how the NYPD got their training from the IDF, the same tactics that you see the IDF using against people in Gaza and the West Bank. The NYPD uses some of the same.
And you wonder why they are the way they are against Jake. When you hear about this guy, I think she did a video on it. He was on this Jake. It was on he was the only Jake on one of these flotillas that were trying to get into Israel to deliver medicine and things of that nature. And they boarded. I'm talking about IDF, and they beat the shit out of this Jake, stripped him ass naked. He's the only one they did this to, so they letting you know how they feel about us. All right, and he told a story once he got back. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, this is your if you ever wonder why your police force is extra motivated when it comes to Jake and how they deal with us. I just use motivate. That's one of the reasons. It's white supremacists. It's white supremacy with a yarmulke on. That's all it is. All right.
Tactic against people right here at home in the U.S. They're trained by the IDF. Now we have the IDF barging into Pentagon meetings. What? Meanwhile, they have you focused on everything else. They got you focused on hating your neighbor. They have you focused on the culture war stuff. They have you focused on what is a woman, who can use what bathroom, who can do all this stuff. You literally have soldiers from Israel interrupting Pentagon meetings. What the fuck? And everyone should be up in arms about this. Imagine if no other country would be able to do this. Like Russia couldn't just barge in and say, hey, China couldn't just barge in and say, listen up. The IDF can just walk right into the Pentagon and start wagging their finger and telling them what they better do. Why aren't these Pentagon officials speaking up? Who are they really working for? Is it really about them protecting America? Because I don't think it is. What is happening here? And I'm willing to bet this has happened before, but we're just now hearing about it. This probably has been going on for years as far as we know. We don't know. This could have been happening for years. Did they barge into the Pentagon after September 11? Just asking. Let's continue.
No, but what did happen, we found out later that day with the Israeli soldiers dancing on top of the van and them being stopped and weird shit happening afterwards, as far as them, you know, really snubbing their nose at, and then them being allowed to leave. As in most cases, when these assholes get caught up in something, of course, having dual citizenship, and we're not even talking about diplomatic immunity and all that other crap, but you know, it would tell you who's running the show, and all evidence points toward them, the real boss. And you know what? They have you stupid ass Christians to thank. Yeah, how about that? All this Charlie Kirk crap, you know, and there's more coming out on his wife. As it turns out, she was the brains behind it. I mean, she's got a couple of degrees plus a Jewish doctorate in Christian studies or some shit. And it's evident, to me at least, that she was being groomed from an early age with her father's connection to the DOD. I mean, when you get into it, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And what happened with her in Romania years ago, I'll just say, allegedly. But yeah, it's some shady shit going on with all of this. But more and more, you know, it's coming to light. And look what they did with this fake ass break in the ongoings with Israel bombing Gaza. It's supposed to be a ceasefire, right? Well, turns out that Trump was played as a fool. Not hard to believe there. These Israelis let you know they do what they want to do when they want to do it. Again, all kinds of disrespect to your fearless leader. You know, it's clear that they want those people out. It's been clear for a long time, actually, that they just want those people out of there. They don't give a shit who knows. He later, and I'm talking about the he being Netanyahu, gave a speech in Hebrew, if you want to call it that, telling his people that he had no intent on doing what Trump had requested. All right, and that his real intent was, again, to get those people up out of there. Yeah, so the only ones apparently that believe anything that they have to say over there in Israel are idiots. Back to the video.
Huh? The more you allow that kind of deeply unhealthy behavior, the more you're going to get. And that's exactly what has happened. Because of the weakness of our leaders, we have incited predators in a foreign country to take advantage of us. Oh, that's such an anti-Israel thing to say. It's not anti-Israel at all. It's a demand that the people whose job it is, whose sacred duty it is to defend and represent us, our leaders at the Pentagon and all throughout the U.S. government, that they do that they stand up and defend us against all potential threats, against all foreign countries to the extent they need to, and that they do not prostrate themselves before a foreign nation. That's just basic. Why have a government, especially a strong government, if it's taking orders from another weaker government? And that is the state of play. And it has been for a very long time. And they're not even pretending.
No, they're not pretending. It's all out in the open now. And so to Tucker Carlson's point, when he says, why even have a government if this is what is going to happen, to give
Because again, what's happened and what we've been saying again all along, they've lost the information war. People have, and a lot of it has to do with what uh, the Hebrew Israelites have been out there doing in casting what they call in legalese when you go to court, uh, reasonable doubt on the identity of those people being the actual descendants of the ancient Israelites, and it's been proven that they're not. All right. As Revelation 12:12 said, he knoweth he hath but a short time, because all of this evidence is, in fact, let's get that. All this evidence is coming out on him as to who he is, being the descendants of Jacob's brother Esau. All right, 12. And this whole chapter here has to do the woman being Israel, us, and the dragon being the Edomites, the so-called white man, and his established government, his beast system. All right, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe or destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil being, we're talking about a people, all right, i.e. the so-called white man, of the nation of Edom, is come down unto you, having great wrath." Why? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All these celestial events that are happening. There's one coming in November, from November 11th, basically through the end of November. It's going to be all kinds of alignments and all kinds of things. And to the average person, that may not mean much, but to those that, in this case, these Israelis included, because they deal a lot with witchcraft, the Kabbalah, that's all that is. It's witchcraft. All right. They deal in all these ceremonies and, again, witchcraft. All right. Isaiah 47th chapter. We'll get that a little bit later. But this is how they deal. This is how they roll. All right. And it's not working for them like it used to. All right. So they're not scrambling and jumping through their own a-hole trying to figure out, well, what can we do? And there's nothing they can do. It's that time. You know, Job 14:5. There's a time. Let me just get that real quick. There's an appointed time, as it was in each kingdom. It had its time. It had its run. Same as this one. All right. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are numbered, since we read Revelation 12:12. The number of his months are with thee. All right. This is up to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right. This place is done. No matter how much witchcraft, how many demonic ceremonies and bloodletting you do. So like as soon as
people the illusion of democracy. Because if we had real democracy, people wouldn't try to, I don't know, give super delegate votes to a candidate that didn't get votes in that state. If we had true democracy, we wouldn't even have an electoral college. People starting to get it. If we had true democracy, we wouldn't have representatives represent us. We would vote on what policies we want, just like we do with the ballot measures in the ballot initiative states. What we have are representatives that don't represent us. They're basically there to represent corporations, lobby interest groups, the military industrial complex. That's really who they work for, not us. They're there to give us the illusion that they're going to do something for us and represent us, but they don't. They're basically just bought off by big money, and that's their role. We have presidents that are also owned and bought off by Israel and Big Pharma. All of these people in DC are working for big money interests and not ours. And now you're hearing about the Pentagon.
Yes.
Now, Jeffrey Sachs was also on Tucker Carlson's show as well. So listen to this. Abir said the dam is cracking. Tucker is asking the forbidden question. Tucker asked the biggest question about Israel that Washington won't touch.
May I ask you, you said a moment ago that no American president has ever constrained Israel in a meaningful way. I think George
in the modern period.
Yeah,
certainly,
George H.W. Bush
yes.
kind of tried, and there was talk of an assassination attempt against him, and he lost, of course, after one term. But why do you think that is? Why is a country of 9 million people able to dictate terms to a country of 350 million people?
Well, first.
Salakia. Again, I apologize. I have this wandering Wi-Fi signal.